반짝이는 눈빛 눈이 부셔 매일 날 감싸주는 손길.
Do you dare to lie without any remorse? Get out of this house right now. You can't just stay here. I'm going to tell the story of why Na-young had a miscarriage and was kicked out of the house. Mom, something really big has happened. Na-young and Yoonja were sitting face to face in a gloomy atmosphere. Yoonja's house was always dark and filled with heavy air. Na-young whispered to Yoonja, Mom, we must never let the truth about Hyunwoo be revealed. If that happens, our family will be ruined. Yoonja nodded as she looked at Na-young's face. I know, Na-young, but how can we do that? I can think of a good way. Na-young looked frustrated as she stared at the wall. That person always comes smiling towards us and it's driving me crazy. And on top of that, I feel like Suji is watching me from the side. Yoonja fell into deep thought for a moment. Then should we be more daring and careful? We have to move more discreetly so that people don't notice. Na-young couldn't forget about it for a moment. Mom, that's not easy. That person is likely to inherit the hospital. So how can we stop it? Yoonja held Na-young's hand and gave her strength. Na-young, if we move more cautiously, there must be a way. Let's hide our actions as much as possible and be careful not to bother Suji anymore. So the two of them planned their interference operation late into the night. But as they couldn't come up with a good plan, stress started to build up. Na-young shouted while holding her hand. What should we do? I can't find an answer no matter how much I think. Yoonja tried to calm Na-young down and said, Na-young, even though it's tough for us right now, we have to endure. There must be a way. Let's never give up. Na-young nodded with difficulty and regained her determination, but deep down, she still felt a sense of unease. She wondered if they could continue their interference operation like this and if she could keep this secret until the end. When Na-young returned home, she quietly took off her shoes in the hallway. She thought her mind would feel a little more at ease after a long day and returning home, but it was just an illusion. The abdominal pain was getting worse. Na-young, you've worked hard today. What happened? Yeonsong asked. Na-young forced a smile and replied, it's nothing. I just had a lot of work at the hospital. But inside, she felt a sense of unease. Why is my stomach hurting like this? There was nothing wrong. As Na-young entered the living room, she leaned against the sofa and let out a deep sigh. Yeonsong, let's just have a simple dinner tonight. I'm not feeling well. Yeonsong approached with a worried look and touched Na-young's forehead. You don't have a fever. You just seem tired. Don't push yourself and rest well. Na-young nodded and headed to her room. It's probably nothing. I'm just tired, that's all. She tried to comfort herself, but the ominous feeling didn't easily go away. As soon as she entered her room, Na-young threw herself onto the bed. Her stomach still hurt, and now the pain was getting worse. Na-young placed her hand on her forehead and murmured, Please let there be nothing wrong. But the pain became stronger and stronger. Why is this happening? Na-young leaned against the wall sweating. A disturbing thought crossed her mind. Could something be wrong with the baby? In the midst of her agony, Na-young finally shouted, Yeonsong! Yeonsong! Yeonsong rushed into the room, surprised. Na-young, what's wrong? Where does it hurt? Na-young tearfully replied, My stomach hurts so much. This is really strange. Yeonsong quickly picked up the phone and called the hospital. Stay calm, Na-young. We need to go to the hospital for an examination right away. Han Jin-tae was reading the newspaper and remembered his conversation with Na-young. Lately, Na-young's behavior had seemed strange to him. She always seemed to be hiding something. Jin-tae felt deep distrust in his heart. Na-young was still suffering in pain. The pain in her abdomen had reached an unbearable level. Na-young lay on the bed, breathing in pain. Why is this happening? She said, struggling to speak. The pain grew worse and now even breathing was difficult. The door opened and Yeonsong hurriedly entered the room. I called the hospital, Na-young. We need to go right away, he said. Na-young nodded weakly. Thank you, Yeonsong, but I'm really scared, she said. Yeonsong held Na-young's hand tightly and said, It's okay, Na-young, I'm here with you. We can get through this together. Na-young nodded, tears streaming down her face. Thank you so much, Yeonsong, but the pain is getting stronger, she said. Suddenly, Na-young started bleeding and collapsed. Yeonsong was shocked and grabbed Na-young, shouting, Nayong, please wake up. But Nayong had lost consciousness and was bleeding. The door opened and Han Jinte entered. His expression was hardened and his eyes were filled with anger. Nayong wanted to avoid his gaze but she couldn't escape. Han Jinte walked heavily towards Nayong and asked, suppressing his anger, "What happened? What happened?" Nayong bit her lip and shed tears. "Father, Jinte shouted. "Just what?" To say just about losing a child, Nayong trembled and said, "I'm sorry, father, I'm really sorry." Jinte continued in an angry voice, "Apologizing won't solve the problem. This is not something that can be resolved with a simple apology. Yeonsong knows about it." Nayong raised her head and replied, "I haven't told him, I'm too scared." Han Jinte sighed and said, "If Yeonsong finds out about all the things I've done, what do you think will happen?" "I know." Nayong wiped her tears and replied, "I'm really sorry. I love Yeonsong. Please, father, start the divorce proceedings. I can't bear it anymore." Nayong looked at Jinte with a shocked expression and said, "Father, that's too cruel. I really love Yeonsong, please." Han Jinte firmly said, "Even saying that I love Yeonsong is disgusting to me. Start the divorce proceedings now. I can't take it anymore." Nayong fell into despair, crying and said, "Please, father, I beg you, give me one more chance. I will admit my mistakes and be with Yeonsong." That's all for today, guys. Thank you all for watching.